the impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. It's a move forward in the House. Let me say this. I have heard some pundits say that they were shocked that every single Republican in the House voted for this impeachment inquiry. Even Republicans in the House who are in Biden districts.
Mm.
And my thing is, I don't know why y'all shocked. I've been trying to tell folks, I've been saying this for years, there is a thin line between the MAGA Republican and the quote unquote mainstream Republican.
Mm.
There's a very thin line. There's barely a line there.
Yeah, that's being generous.
That's being generous. There, y'all thought the moderate ones, the ones who care about, no, they stand in line.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't one Republican. There wasn't one Republican calling for Trump to step down in his first term and
Right.
not run for a second term like we
Mm.
have with Democrats over here. They weren't even hesitant. You know how some Democrats don't really want to answer the
Yeah.
question at one point? No, they stand in line, and they all collectively, regardless if their district is benefiting
Mm-hmm.
from the infrastructure bill, benefiting from the CHIPS Act, regardless of how they're benefiting, they still voted for this ridiculous impeachment inquiry. And let me make this really plain in case folks don't understand it. They are saying that President Biden profited, I'm sorry, that his son Hunter Biden used his father to profit off of business deals.
Okay.
Now, let's say this actually happened.
Right.
Let's just say it actually. Let's say that's what happened. That father and son were profiting together, like
Mm.
Trump and his son do, allegedly. Let's say that actually happened,
Well,
right? They're saying that it happened before he was president.
okay.
Before he was president,
Mm-hmm.
when he was a private citizen.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen a president have a impeachment inquiry for alleged actions before they were president.
Yeah.
I think one of the accusations say the last 6 months or so when he was vice president, they're accusing Biden of profiting and getting but before he was president of these United States,
Mm.
this is not me, you know, ride or die for Biden. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This is before the accusations alone, and their weak accusations alone, were just before he was president. And every single Republican in the House voted for this. They
Mm.
have no morals. They have no values. They don't care about the country. They don't care about too much aid going to Ukraine. They don't care about too much aid going to Israel. They don't care about the border. They don't care about
Mm-hmm.
any of that kind of stuff. All they care about is omnipotent power.
Mm-hmm.
All they care about is the potential to have another Republican get back in office that will maintain and protect their power for as long as they're in office. They
Yeah.
want to give power, even if it's not Trump. They want to give power to the executive branch exclusively. That Project
Mm.
2025, that isn't just about Trump. The idea of giving more power to the executive branch, disempowering Congress, disempowering checks and balances, that isn't all about him. If it's not him, it'll be somebody else. It could be Nikki Haley doing it. Could be Ron DeSantis doing it. So I'm just telling you, I hope that makes it really plain for everybody. It doesn't even make sense that they're accusing him of things when he was a private citizen. But this is who they are. They're only
Yeah.
doing it out of vengeance. And they're only doing it because they are afraid of Trump and they like his power. Go ahead, Reese.
I mean, the Republicans are unserious. This impeachment is unserious, impeachment inquiry rather. But this is exactly what we knew was going to happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure we said this, that if you're looking for solutions to inflation, to gas prices, to housing costs, to education, to infrastructure, to climate change, the Republicans ain't got a motherfucking thing for you. We said that. We said that in 2022. We said that this was going to be nothing but a circus. It was going to be nothing but stunts and just political theater instead of competency and moving the country forward. So this is entirely predictable. This is what the American people halfway signed up for. Another part of it was just flat out another part of it was gerrymandering, right? But the reality is that Republicans are not a governing party. They are a party that exists for the purpose of maintaining and gaining more power. But what they choose to do with it is not anything that benefits any of us. So I think that, the unfortunate part about it is that we do have a relatively unsophisticated populace of people, right? Where you start off with pretty much as soon as something is presented as this is what may have happened, 55% or 40, let's say 45% of people are going to automatically believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you were to poll the American people and you just ask the question, is this impeachment inquiry justified or not? 45% is going to say yes automatically. They don't have to know shit about it, just yes. So once you put the power of suggestion, once you put it out there, it does sully Biden in a way that's really unfair, because this is just complete bullshit. And you have a Republican Party that is never held accountable for their actions, with the exception of George Santos. Remember, George Santos is black. He black, he gay, he Latino, he all the little.
He said he was. He said he was black too. He's everything.
He everything, Shell. So all them identities worked together and came together to get his ass booted the fuck out the goddamn Republican Party. Okay. Now, if he didn't say that he was black, if he was a straight up white man, then he wouldn't have been goddamn expelled. But because he sat up there, he said he was black here and there, he said he was Latino here and there, whatever. Now his ass is out on his ass. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point is that you don't see any kind of accountability for Republicans. These are the same people that voted to overturn the election. These are the same people that acquitted Donald Trump of an insurrection, acquitted Donald Trump of his impeachment in obstructing aid to Ukraine or whatever the situation was with Ukraine. And so, now we're talking about buying a Hunter. Hunter, sorry, and I like Joe, but the reality is Hunter, he ain't no motherfucking criminal mastermind here. He ain't no business guru here. He's no Bill Gates. He ain't even Elon Musk. He ain't even get his daddy's money and then got to play around with it, because Joe Biden ain't got money like that. He ain't got the coin. And so the whole idea that, Hunter, anything that they say he did, what did it amount to? Come on. Like Hunter Biden is fighting for his life, child. He's trying to stay off that crack. He's trying to stay off stay away from the prostitutes, stay away from the bottle. He is not trying to take over the goddamn United States of America. He's not trying to be co-president, vice president, shadow president, none of that shit. Leave Hunter Biden alone. If he gonna go to jail, that's fine. I'm not gonna sit up here and cape for a white man who has gun charges. Okay. However, why is Joe in? Why is Joe Biden?
Why is Joe in?
And why are we gonna have to deal with this fucking circus? And why don't voters ever hold Republicans accountable for the things that they don't think are going well in this country, that Republicans do not have solutions for? They don't hold Republicans accountable for that. They only hold Democrats accountable. Even though we've seen record job growth, we've seen a number of things, gas is back down in most places. That's all the things that people have been, concerned about. Inflation is going down. The Democrats never get the credit. They only get the blame. The Republicans never get the blame. They just keep moving along, fucking shit up. So that is just the crazy part about the politics that we're living in.
Before we go to a break, I want to read this brief part from my book, The Grift, The Downward Spiral, Black Republicans. And this is towards the very end. The last chapter, I have a what's next chapter.
Oh, right.
I lay out solutions and ideas. And I want to, this is, I wrote this before you said this, obviously, because the book is already printed. But this whole idea of holding Democrats accountable. Listen to this. Democrats are quickly held accountable for the slightest infraction and cannibalize their own. With a more diversified base, it is a challenge to give solutions to everybody. I hear demands for tangibles, but tangibles are also a long game that many refuse to play. So yes, hold Democrats accountable and push for legislation that moves the needle, but do not forget to embrace the victories. Nearly every piece of progressive policy since the 1930s has come from the Democratic Party. the New Deal, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, voting rights, hate crimes legislation, and the Affordable Care Act. The Democratic Party is far from perfect, but we must celebrate our wins. If we don't, then even a win can be spun as a loss, a game wishy-washy pundits play, which suppresses our voice, only giving more power to the party that consistently dodges accountability, even when the crimes are committed in plain sight.
Mic drop.
Hold them accountable, I get it, but let's not be unreasonable.